Wait a second, this isn't up to date. There we go, that's better. Hello, cartoon fanatics, RJ here, and welcome back to Cartoon Corner. We're finally back into Star vs. the Forces of Evil, the 4th season, the final season. This is how it's all gonna go down, folks. We are at the last threshold, the pinnacle, I've run out of synonyms because it's late and daylight savings is still throwing me off. Why does daylight savings exist? Anyway, we're going to ignore all of that nonsense and dive right into things because there has been a lot of craziness going on. The premiere of this season, pretty much typical with most Star seasons, when stuff gets unveiled and you think it's going to go one way, and then it kind of goes that way, but the tone is completely different from what you expect. That's kind of been my feelings ever since I really started getting onto the Star versus train, the fandom train. See, I told you my words aren't coming out right, and I don't have a script. Usually I have a script, but I don't have enough time to write up a script, so you get my ramblings of nonsense. Whoa. Okay, I need more coffee or something. Alright, well, let's just kind of do a quick recap of exactly what's been going down because it has been a while, and honestly, I did remember, but once again, like I said, tired daylight savings brain is not processing things when I watch this episode, like the fact that Moon somehow escaped the magical magic world, but she doesn't have any of her memory. So basically the whole premiere first part of this season is Star and Marco and King River to a certain extent going and trying to locate Queen Moon amongst all the different dimensions. Well, I guess she's not really Queen Moon anymore because Star gave the queenhood over to Eclipsa. So technically Eclipsa's in charge of the kingdom of Muni, and well, the Mumins aren't too happy about it. They pretty much blame Star for giving Eclipsa the whole queenhood thing, and a lot of us wondered exactly how that would go down because the first thing we saw Eclipsa do was go and find her husband, who is still in this giant crystal. And from there we thought, oh man, really crazy bad things are going to happen. But then we actually see Star and Marco interacting with Eclipsa. They've been staying at her new castle that she's been building for her kingdom. They've been staying there while in their search for Queen Moon. And honestly, it's pretty nice. It's pretty much the utopia, well, not exactly utopia, but it's the ideals that Star was trying to push with the rest of the kingdom, with humans and monsters working alongside each other. You see there's now some monsters working in the castle as well, along Eclipsa's side, helping her tidy up the new place. We even see some monsters walking around with the soldiers that were originally part of the Mumin Guards. So slowly but surely, Eclipsa is integrating monsters into Mumin community. Why is it so hard to say Mumin? And yeah, that doesn't seem too bad because that was kind of the whole point of all of this happening anyway, was prejudice ideas and misunderstandings, and now it seems like things are finally going to be patched up there. But yet, at the same time, something doesn't quite seem right. And, well, part of that is Eclipsa's husband, Globgor. He is still encased in the crystal. She's been trying to get him out, but she can't. Which, honestly, I thought she had her, she has the wand back, she'd be able to get him out right away, but apparently not. And will he ever get out? I have no clue anymore. I'm kind of confused. And, of course, we have new baby Meteora, who got turned back into a baby after the whole Season 3 incident, supposedly not remembering anything, although she still kind of has a little bit of a thing against Marco, although Marco's trying his best. It's just things that should be creepy and more like, oh my gosh, this should be the next big bad. It doesn't seem that way, but at the same time, something bad will happen, and you just don't know what it is. It's that uncertainty. Like, things are starting to go well, but underneath all of it, there's got to be something else going on, and we're just not seeing it at the moment, and that's kind of unsettling but exciting because it shows exactly what we might be in for this season. So I'm going to kind of give just a quick rundown on these episodes because the parts I'm interested about are actually kind of the little sections of the stories and not the actual plot of the stories itself. Because basically these couple of episodes are just locating Moon, specifically within the kingdom of the Pie Folk, which the Pie Folk are kind of crazy people. You got the humans that are obsessed with corn, and the Pie Folk are obsessed with pies. Except they make their pies out of mud, which is weird, but they put on the little play that we saw the little teaser clip for this season a long time ago, kind of mocking the royal kingdom, all except for Moon. And Star takes this Moon from the stage and tries to run away with her, thinking it might be her mom, because remember, Moon has lost her memory. So for all Star knew, it kind of looked like her. It turns out just to be a really good actor that uses lots of nice contours, so that didn't work out too well there. And Star's getting kind of discouraged, but she is determined because she has a point that Moon must be out there somewhere, and I'm going to bring up that point later. First, I just want to recap exactly what went down. So then Marco takes one of the pies from the Pie Folk, and they discover that the only way a pie could be made like that is because Moon made those pies that way. She used to make them for Star, and as we know, if you've read the book of the book of spells with all the queens of Muni, that Moon's mother, Comet, had made pies that way too. So she obviously taught Moon, and then Moon was trying to teach Star as well, as kind of a cute family tradition thing. So once Star figures out that Moon is on Pie Island making these pies, they of course quickly hurry to go and gather her. There's kind of a typical debate about episodes with characters with amnesia of, well, are they happier in the new place where they are, not remembering anything about themselves, or do they need to go back home with the family and the people they truly belong to? In the end, there's this really touching moment of Moon and Star singing this sweet lullaby, and Moon realizes she may not remember exactly what happened, but she needs to be with Star and with her family again. So she chooses ultimately to go with them, and the Pie Folk will kind of go ballistic about this, because apparently Moon's magic was the only way that they could turn their mud pies into reasonably delicious pies. So now they're back to mud pies, those poor people. So 3 takeaways, big ones, other than the Eclipses stuff that I already mentioned previously. One big takeaway is that the Pie Folk treat Moon pretty highly because, well, they don't like Star because Star put Eclipsa back in charge and no one likes Eclipsa. But they honor Moon and their family because supposedly Festivia, the queen that was replaced Meteora on the throne of Uni that the Magic High Commission did the whole undercover thing, she was supposedly a peasant Pie Folk. So they kind of have this connection to the royal family. Supposedly, there isn't 100% proof that that's true or not, but that might be something interesting that connects the two, and it would make sense why Moon's mother Comet was super into making pies, but again, not 100% sure about that. The second takeaway is Star's magic now. She doesn't need her wand anymore. The magic is within her. She can just call out the spells like she used to call out with the wand, and they come out of her hands now. I'm not quite sure how that works, especially after the episodes where we saw like the inside of the wand and its inner workings and all the spell creatures in there. Are they like inside a Star's body now or something? I don't know how that works. Hopefully we'll get details on kind of how that works, because magic and how it works in the dimensions is still a little bit confusing. Even though we've seen the realm of magic, I still don't quite understand what's going on there. And the third takeaway was the point that I mentioned I'd come back to, of the beach day photo. Yeah, that all-important beach day photo from season 2. We had never seen him on a beach day before, but we just kind of assumed it was like an in-between episode thing that we just missed. Like, oh, it's another one of their silly adventures. But no, apparently this beach day photo is a captured moment from the future that Father Time gave to Star. Supposedly, to show that at whatever's going on, this beach day will happen and you will be happy for this beach day. And that's why Star was so determined to get her mom, because there's no way she could be happy if her mom was missing. And since beach day hadn't happened yet, they had to find her mom and, all of that. But I don't know. I don't think anyone thought that photo was from the future. Maybe there were a couple of crazy theorists out there that put that together. But yeah, so there's that to take away. Those are all just kind of takeaways, things I'm storing in the back of my mind as the rest of this season goes on, because I have a feeling all of these points, including the points about Eclipsa, are going to come up the further we get into it, especially because, remember, this is the final season, folks, and since the team was well aware of that, we know it's going to be wrapped up nicely, like in Gravity Falls niceness wrap-up. So I'm pretty anxious to see what goes down, and pretty excited to see it too. It should be a good time. In the meantime, we'll just have to sit around and wait until next week for more episodes. So, if you like this, make sure to put a thumbs up and press that like button. And don't forget to comment and subscribe as well. Let me know how you thought the beginning of Season 4 of Star Versus went. Are you excited to finally see the conclusion of this? Or is it kind of mediocre and it's doing things you weren't expecting and you're slightly disappointed by? I'll say this show has taken turns that I haven't expected it to go in, which has made it exciting but very hard to talk about. But hey, we're still gonna try, and I'm excited to see what else there is, so hopefully you'll be on this journey with me. And secretly, I'm really hoping that there's some more characters voiced by Alex Hirsch. Please.